All right, welcome to Stage and Film Makeup, our animal makeup project. We are going to be using Maron Paradise AQ, and this is the start of our face painting unit. Face painting unit is just going to include animal makeup and the Sugar Skull project. Okay, so a little bit about Maron Paradise AQ. I'm gonna there's a demo video of me just trying the product. Be sure to watch that video as well. I will link it in the description. Um, Maron Paradise AQ makeup. As the name would suggest, the AQ Aqua, it is a water-based makeup. It will activate with water. So you put water on your brush and you put your brush in the paint palette and you mix it up and you work that up into a makeup. You work with it like watercolors. Unlike watercolor, it is opaque, so you can layer colors on top of it. You can layer a lighter color on top of a darker color, but if you work it in a lot, you'll reactivate the makeup underneath it with water and you'll get a big muddy mess. For more on that, just practice with it. In order to do this project, you need to set up your area, your workspace, like you're painting for watercolor. So you need 2 cups of water, one for clean water and one for dirty water to wash your brush in. And you will need some paper towels to wipe your brushes off. And you don't really need a makeup wipe with this one, but you definitely want to have an assortment of brushes. Like, so the kit comes with the 2 brushes that are okay. And if you have more brushes, I would recommend using those. You can use makeup brushes. You can also just use regular old watercolor brushes or paint brushes in your craft kit. Be sure to clean them so they don't have anything gross because you're going to stick them on your face. Once dry, this product stays put. It doesn't move around. You can wipe your hand on your face and you'll get a little tiny bit of color residue on your hands, but it's not like hitting your face with cream makeup, which never really sets. This makes it a wonderful choice for something you have to wear all day. You can eat with it on. It just tends not to move around the way that cream-based makeup does. It also doesn't feel heavy on your face. Your face will not feel that heavy, caked way that the cream-based stage makeup is going to make your face feel, and you'll be sort of shocked when you look in the mirror because there's clearly a lot of product on your face, but it's just not what you think it's going to be. It can be reactivated with water, so you can put some color down and then you can put water down and move the makeup around. You'll see me do this in the demo tutorial I'm going to give. I use this to do my fur textures. I actually do most of my fur not with paint on my brush, but with water and moving paint around that's already on my face. Certain skins have proven to have more difficulty with this project than others. I don't honestly know how much it's the skin or how much it's the operator error because I don't have all the skins in the world, but some people have problems getting it to stick and not be creamy or streaky on their face, and I think it has to do a little bit with the oil content of someone's skin. So I definitely recommend trying to strip your face of oils and astringent or something before trying this. But that's a problem people have had that I have not had. Mostly, I also see the problem of people just using too much water, and so that makes it very streaky. So using a large brush, if you can get a hold of one, like a big foundation brush or a filbert, or even just the powder brush in your kit. I wouldn't use that to put the product on the face, but it is a great product for smoothing it out once it's on your face. Similar to the way I use it in all the previous tutorials to sort of smooth out my foundation. You can use a powder brush to smooth this out. Practice a bit. Follow that demo video where I just demo the product. You want to know what this product is going to be like before you stick it directly on your face. So practice a bit. Put it on the back of your hand. Blend some colors together. Try to make some fine lines. Figure out how the product works for you, how it doesn't work for you, and make a plan to get your face looking amazing. The product washes off with soap and water, and it's very gentle. It's very hypoallergenic, but it does need a flush of water to wash it off. So if you try to wipe this off with a makeup wipe, you're going to remove a lot of color, but a lot is going to be left behind. Remember, it's water activated, so it needs the water to take it off. That's really the trick. It might lightly stain your skin for a short period of time. I haven't had too much problem with this if you actually flush it with water, but if you just try to remove it with a makeup wipe, you will have this issue. So get up, go to the sink, get the water running, get soap and water, and get it off your face. The product is completely non-toxic, but don't eat it. I also recommend reading the back of the package. I don't know why these things are on there because they don't tell me about why these things might hurt you, but it definitely tells you not to use red or yellow in the area of the eyes or red, yellow, or orange in the area of the eyes, or blue or green on the lips. I do not know why that is. I don't think it's terribly toxic. They just don't recommend it. So it probably will cause a mild irritation in some people. Tiger, look at, so now let's talk about the actual project. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your face and try to map it onto an animal that definitely isn't you. Tiger is a popular one. They're very striking, beautiful, beautiful creatures. And we've had the recent smash success of Tiger King. And we all know we want to be like him. No, please don't be like him. Okay, what you want to do is just like you did with the Gender Bent Celebrity Project, you want to figure out what it is that your face isn't that the tiger is. So, what are the differences between your face and a tiger? I know that sounds like a very silly question, but bear with me for a moment and try to take it seriously. So, first thing first, for me, it's the eyes. Tiger's eyes are round, your eyes are almond. The tiger's eyes are also way further apart than human beings' eyes. Human beings are like, their eyes are generally one eye width apart, and this is way further apart than that. The tiger has a snout. You don't have a snout. The tiger has a nose and a mouth, this sort of triangular mouth area that's very different. The tiger has whiskers, which you don't have. You don't have to put them on your face. The tiger has fur, and the fur has a lot of variety in it. So if you notice, like down here, the fur is really short. And the further away from the snout, the longer it gets, except for right here on the chin, he's got a little tiger beard. But this fur is longer than this fur, and this fur is way longer than this fur. And also note that the fur grows in directions. So it sort of tends to fan out from around the nose. So this is growing back, this is growing up. Here around the eyes, it starts to curve down around the face and go this way. So you want, when you're putting your makeup on and doing your fur texture, you want to consider how that's going to wrap around the face. And you also want to consider how you can use highlight and shade to sort of warp your features. For example, if you want to give yourself something like a snout, and you can see there's kind of like a shadow out here at the width of the snout. Well, your nose isn't nearly that wide, but if you put highlight where the shadow of your nose actually is, and then draw a shadow that's further outside your nose, you're going to end up with something like a snout. So that's kind of fun. The big thing you can do to make yourself look like a tiger is paint yourself orange and white with lots of black stripes. But look at actual tigers. Look at how that striping occurs, because that's what's really going to make it realistic. If you get that striping in, very similar to the way it is on a tiger. The white above the eyes, the dark, heavy black ringed eyes, etc., etc. Okay, so here's I do think it's a good idea to look at what other people have done. But I do recommend that most of your research, I believe 4 out of the 5 photos required, are photos of the actual animal and not of other people doing their makeup. So it's good to see what other people have done, where their successes and failures are in trying to pull off a project like this, but don't use that as your inspiration. Please use the animal as your inspiration. So here, she's done some things very well. I think she's one of the things I really like is she's got an orange color that's orangey brown. That's really on for what color a tiger actually is. I think she's done a nice job of getting the white area above the eyes. All the colors are in the right place. She's got the little stripes around the snout. And I think she's done that well. I think the forehead area is a little bit weird. This fur goes this way and this fur goes this way. I wager that this fur here on the very top part of her forehead is kind of growing in the wrong direction. And like here, it looks like she's got fur that's going in this direction and then fur that's going in this direction. So my biggest critique of her is the directioning of the fur. And I would love to see the orange blend into the black as well as the black blending into the orange in terms of the fur texture, but that can be really hard and messy. I think the fur texture on her chin is excellent. I think it's great that she's done her neck. I think she's done a pretty good job of getting a tiny little snout in there. So she's pulled this black down and kind of connected it here with the nostrils. I think she could have done more to kind of give herself the lip of a tiger. So painting like that black line up in here to get the shape of a tiger mouth a little more. This kind of looks like she's sort of pulling her mouth over her lips. So there are some definite successes here and definite failures. It's a great thing to look at. Not failures. She's wonderful. But look at what other people have done. See what you like about it. See what you don't like about it. Lots of people do dogs. Lots of people do their dogs. So this dog, this is a boxer. He's got a big old lopsided nose. He's got 2 little bug eyes. He's got really dogs have a really great expression. So all these really great wrinkles and stuff in here, and boxers have really great expressions. You're going to have to think about that the same way you think about old age makeup in terms of painting them if you're going to do that. Um, and then the specific coloration and short fur all around. So this is somebody's attempt at this, and it's okay to giggle a little bit. One of the things she's done is she's used a prosthetic. So you can see the edge of the prosthetic, and you can see that the prosthetic doesn't blend particularly well. You can see that the makeup, she's used cream makeup here. This is not Paradise AQ. So it gets really muddy really quickly, which is one of the reasons why we're using this product as opposed to just cream makeup. She hasn't gotten a lot of fur texture. Actually, I don't have much positive to say about this at all. But she's got the colors in the right spot. She looks like a boxer. I don't know that she was trying to look like this boxer. I just paired these photos together. I will say that I'm okay with you using some prosthetic pieces in this if you have them or want to make them. We haven't covered that in class yet, but if you are comfortable doing that, you can do that. You're certainly not required to. That's what I have to say about her. Okay, people love doing this. They love making themselves look like their own animal. So this is her little dog. And she's done some pretty cool things here. So she's used some shadow to pull out from the corners of her mouth to give herself a little snout. And you can see even all this fur down here that's like her dog's fur. She's shaded that in a little bit. So you can see it's whiter here and sort of bluer here. The eyes are painted on her eyelids. So her eyes are shut. That's the line of her eyelashes, and she's painted her dog's eyes on her eyelids. And so through doing that, she's able to get a different kind of look. She's able to pull her eyes further apart like her doggo's. She's done an amazing job of painting the nose, and she's painted the tongue on her own lips and chin, which is very cute and very sweet. I think her fur texture is pretty darn good. Everything seems to be going in the right direction. I think she did a great job of getting like the dog lip shape that we didn't get on the tiger, that little triangle shape there. So I think this one's pretty successful. Okay, some animals that are not furry are our reptile friends. So lizards are really, really difficult to do, and you're going to have to take some creative license in how you might do that. It's really, really fun to paint the scales. But notice that the scales are all different sizes. You can do an easy trick like pulling a pair of fishnets over your face and using that to create scale textures. I'm not going to do a tutorial on that, but you can find them at other places on YouTube. But it's going to give you all scales that are the same size, which might be fine. But as you can see, that's not necessarily the way that lizards are. Lizards have eyes on the side of their head, which is distinctly different from you. Their mouth goes back, this enormous mouth. They have this little dot for a nose. So this is a really challenging project. And if you want to try it, go ahead. Lizard, turtle, frog, they're all fun. Here are some people's crazy attempts. Both of these I think are really cartoony. This person here has used the fishnet effect. So they put fishnets on and then sort of powdered this sort of yellow triangle and given a little bit of a scaly effect. And this person has painted the scales on individually. I don't think either one of these are particularly successful at being a realistic reptile, but they're both interesting. I think this guy's actually trying to be a snake. Snake's another one you can do. Owl. Beaks are hard. Lots of people try to do bird. Beaks are hard. They're a feature that there isn't really anything on a human face that's like a beak. You can say the nose can be kind of beak-like, but it's also the mouth of the bird, so you have to find a way to translate that. And then feathers are hard. Owl's ears are in this weird kind of location, and the patterning of the feathers and the fur is very, very distinctive and pretty common across the board for different species of birds. So what I think worked pretty well for this woman is she turned that idea into a half mask. You can see she rounded her eyes out by painting yellow underneath them for a good way. That's a good bit of yellow, and that really helped round her eyes out. She's done a beautiful job of creating the feather texture. Notice that it all follows normal directions, and she's just painted the beak on her nose. So I think that she's done a great job here, and notice how she didn't paint her whole face, and you are not required to. One of the things about this that people who have done just half faces before have never really noticed is that there appears to be like a little shadow around the edge of it. It really makes it feel like it's a mask sitting on her face that I think is kind of cool. Okay, so your guidelines for this project. You may pick any real animal. I want you to do a real animal. No cartoons or characters or anything crazy like that. Now, one exception to this, somebody asked me if they could do a fictional animal that was made to look real, a la um, uh, Harry Potter universe. There are some fictional animals in that world that look real. So if you want to be a sphinx or a griffin or a dragon, as long as you pick research that represents a very realistic looking one of those creatures, you may do that. You may not copy someone else's makeup. I want you to do your own makeup. So please don't try to copy someone else's makeup here. Only one of your 5 research photos may be of someone else's makeup for the animal. That doesn't mean you can't look at more, but I only want one of them in your research. It can be one that you think they did a really good job or one that you think they did a really bad job, whatever is going to help you learn more. If you have more than 5 research photos, you can have more than one picture of someone else's makeup. Take time and think about your maps, makeup maps, face charts. They're synonyms. Sorry, I called them maps here, but take time and think about your face chart. Be creative with how you can alter your face and shape to create your animal. You're going to need some new colored pencils here. Now that you're able to use a wide variety of colors, you want to branch out from the neutral skin tones we've been using and start using some colors and thinking in fun colors. Any animal is fine. I'll say that again. So you can be anything from a fish to a dog to a goat to a sheep to a lizard to a dinosaur to a dragon. Have fun. All right, I'll be posting the tutorial in a bit. Thank you. Bye.